they're fake electors, what are you saying? Are you saying they're fake because they didn't win the popular vote, and they decided to contest? Not they can't really contest it, but if the senators or the congressmen decide that their vote should be the ones that are counted, how are they fake?
I think we're arguing that since the legislature or the governor did not bless them, that's why they are.
That's correct. That goes back to Title III of the United States Code, Chapter 1, under presidential elections and vacancies. And it talks about time and number and the certificate of ascertainment of appointment of electors. And that all of those things fall to the state, but the state has to certify who their electors are.
Right.
And that certification didn't get sent to Congress.
It did get sent to Congress. They're saying that because they sent it to Congress. So this is my understanding of it. And my understanding is that these I guess were an alternate slate of electors. Because I guess maybe 3 of them decided not to show up, because if you actually look at the certificates, it talks about how the original electors were not going to certify the votes. So they offered an alternate slate. So their party chose an alternate slate of electors, which those 3, so 3 didn't show up, another 3 came in, and they're saying that because they sent in their votes, or they sent in their certification saying that they were duly sworn, they're saying that they weren't. Now, again, I don't. As far as the vagueness of the indictment, I'm still not clear on what the scheme actually was, because it really doesn't give me, unless somebody can correct me, it really does not break down how they're supposedly quote unquote fake. If they did I've seen the certifications. Then they said, okay, they submitted paperwork, but the paperwork is fake. How is the paperwork fake? Did anybody explain?
Because they weren't duly certified. Just because they signed it by the state legislature and the governor.
Who initiated the paperwork? Who initiated the alternate
David
electors?
Schaefer did.
Yeah. So that's not the legislature or the governor.
No, that's the Georgia GOP chair.
So
correct.
Are they alternate slates of electors?
Well, not duly certified.
Even if they're an alternate slate, and there's the 3 original who didn't show up, and they're certifying saying that we are the alternate slate of electors duly elected by our party, then how are they fake?
But not certified.
Yeah, but you can't. You're not duly elected by the party because they didn't win the popular vote. They're null and void. They're just.
Yeah, they are elected by their party.
What the document says.
Well, first of all, electors aren't elected by the party; they're appointed.
Right.
Right.
They're still elected.
No, you don't run for election. You don't run for an election to be an elector.
Okay, so maybe some states hold a vote, and some committees hold a vote, and they elect them, or they appoint them. However you do it, appoint, elect, who cares? However they do it.
I mean,
well, what the document was that they signed said, "We, the undersigned, being the duly elected and qualified electors for the President and Vice President of the United States of America from the state of Georgia, do hereby certify the following." That's what they signed off on.
Yeah.
And again, that's count 12 with Schaefer, Still and Latham. And that's where they're charged with false statements and writings.
Yeah, but I don't see how that's false. How is that statement?
It has no authority. It has no state authority, and it was trying to be passed.
They are certifying. They are not asking for certification. They are certifying.
Well, yeah, but that's
illegal.
You can't do that.
Oh my
God. You can't certify yourself.
That they have been duly elected and qualified.
Okay, were they duly elected and qualified by their party?
No.
Well, however they're picked, the point is that the governor has to make you an elector.
So what happens? Right? So what happens when it goes to Congress and they start kicking out electors?
right? So say they look at Georgia, they look at Arizona,
Anarchy
and
is
they
what
look at
happens.
Wisconsin, for example, right? Say just pick these random states. What happens if they go in, they see, hey, wait a minute, there's been some issues here. We're going to go ahead and kick these electors out.
Well, remember,
Insurrection
Well, if you
happens.
there's only
if you
two
follow,
bases
That's
on
not
which
an
you can attack.
insurrection. What the fuck are you talking about? How is that an
Insurrection
insurrection?
You start letting Congress just throw out the people's vote. I
There's
guarantee
literally,
you, there's
listen,
going to be some shit going
first of
down.
all, there's literally federal law on this. The 12th Amendment supports it, and it's also happened before in our history. In 1877, we had a whole fucking law about this. It actually tells you exactly how it goes down, right? Down to the months. If you still don't have someone then you do this. If you don't have someone by this time, then you do this.
Yeah.
And it goes so on and so forth.
so
It
Section
even
5,
tells you the line of
Section 5,
succession in the interim.
Section 5 deals with the safe harbor. Section 6 explains what a valid elector looks like, elector sheet looks like. Any disputes must be communicated by the governor of the state to the Senate, to the
Okay,
to
so
the
what
chamber.
happened in 1877? What happened in 1877? And
Yeah,
what
there was
legislation came as a result of what happened in 1877?
yeah, this legislation came as a result of that. But so I don't know why we're talking about 1877. We
It's
have
before
the
the
law,
legislation.
Because
right? We have the
Like
law now.
that's not our current law, Linz. What does
okay,
it
so
matter?
Yeah.
show me the law that overturned that law.
That's when we ended Reconstruction early, which we shouldn't have done. Otherwise, we
What?
wouldn't be like this today.
That's
No. There has to be a law that undoes that law. So what law is that?
I don't understand your question. So we're going by U.S. Code 3. I'm walking the dog, so I don't have it in front of me. Somebody help me out.
Well,
But-
I'm sure shit not helping you out.
I know that.
Dude,